This video will fully explain 3 important things: how to vote, how to be recognized to speak, and how to communicate with diocesan staff on official convention business for this virtual convention. And we will use 2 separate ways to vote virtually. Let's start with Zoom polling, which is basically the equivalent of voting by acclamation. Whenever there comes a point during convention to have a vote by acclamation, an announcement will be made saying, "We are about to vote by acclamation." And in that moment, you will see a Zoom poll pop up on your screen. When this happens, simply read the question, select the answer, and then click Submit. This process is fairly straightforward, just like it is in person. The poll will have generally a simple question like yes or no. You simply click your answer and press Submit. These results will be shared fairly quickly after answering, again, just like in person. My only word of warning is that it is a pop-up window, and I don't know about you, but in my everyday life, when a pop-up window comes on my computer screen, I generally close it. Please do not close this window when it pops up. Simply select your answer, and then the pop-up will go away. Now, let's talk about V-polling, which is basically the equivalent of voting by ballot. This is a completely separate process and requires a totally different logon on a completely separate website. It will be easiest to use a different device like a phone or tablet to access V-poll. However, you can also open up another window in your browser like this. Make sure you don't close the Zoom webinar, just minimize it while you vote. To access this secure logon, you should have received an email with all the necessary logon information. First, click the link for V-polling, then the unique access code for convention. Follow the prompts to fill in your name, ID number, and select the polling session. Click Submit, and you are now logged in. Once on the page, you will see a page that says something similar to "Question will be broadcast shortly." That is because the poll is not yet open for voting. Just like we did with Zoom polling, we will make an announcement by saying, "We are about to vote by ballot." In just a moment, the ballot will be open. At this time, you are to either find the second browser window on your computer or have your second device logged in to V-poll and ready to go, and then you will see the active and open ballot for what you are supposed to be voting. If you don't see the active ballot displayed on V-poll, don't worry. Just simply refresh your screen and your ballot should be displayed after that. Again, simply read the question or ballot, make your selection, and then click Submit. Since this type of voting is slightly more complicated and requires going in and out of Zoom or using a second device, more time will be given to ensure your vote is cast properly and counted. Because more time is used for V-poll, however, unlike Zoom polling, results will not be immediate. Convention is not just about voting, though. Delegates still have seat, voice, and vote, and leads us to explaining how you can be recognized if you choose to speak. The platform for this convention is Zoom Webinar. Now, webinars are different from regular Zoom meetings. As a webinar attendee, you don't have the ability to mute and unmute yourself to speak. The default setting is that all attendees are muted, and you must be granted permission to speak by the host. For this convention, the official way to be recognized to speak is by using the raised hand function in Zoom. If you would like to address the entire convention, think of standing up to speak at the microphone if you were in person, simply click the raised hand button. Once recognized, you will need to unmute yourself to be heard by others. Side note, Zoom does keep track of the order in which people raise their hands, so don't worry about losing your place in line. It is important to know that once you have clicked the raised hand button, please do not click it again. The host will virtually lower your hand once you have had the opportunity to speak. Lastly, let me explain the functionality of the Q&A. The Q&A is to be used for official convention business only. If you would like to speak to a member of the diocesan staff, or you're having issues that need to be addressed, or if you would like to submit an amendment to a resolution, please use the Q&A. To post an amendment, you must use the exact wording you want to propose, though. For all non-business, like requesting prayers or participating in virtual worship, please feel free to use the chat function. Even though the systems and processes are different this year, the ability to have a prayer-filled and successful convention is just as possible. And just like every other year, you will have plenty of help. This year we have a team of people standing by, just waiting to help you when you encounter technical difficulties. If you are having problems, please do not hesitate and just call the hotline. The numbers for support will be posted at convention and have already been sent to you by email as well. We are all in this together, and that is exactly how we will get through this very different convention. Together.